Stay to the end where I vote Steph Curry. Kevin Love receives a standing ovation in his first return to Cleveland since joining Miami. And I gotta tell you, winning really does solve everything, because I'm old enough to remember the days when fans wished he stayed concussed during the 2016 finals. Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels had 29 apiece in a win over Charlotte. They might not be the duo Minnesota fans expected, but with Julius Randle coming back, it is definitely the duo they need. Feels like every LaMelo box score reads great counting stats. Okay, the turnover issue, that could be a little bit better. Oh my God, that efficiency is disgusting! Giannis became the 6th fastest player in NBA history to reach 20,000 career points. And if you asked him, the little freak would tell you he'd be the first fastest to reach something else. DeMar DeRozan took 32 shots in a loss to Denver because with Fox gone and Sabonis hurt, who's gonna tell him not to? After scoring 50 points in a win over Detroit, James Harden said, quote, "When things aren't going well, you gotta continue to work through it." And for anyone who's wondering, he only learned that lesson after he got to LA. Jacoby Walter hit the game-winning 3 to give the Raptors the win over the Magic. And I can only hope that after he hit that shot, he yelled, "Jacoby!" Quentin Grimes had 30 points on 12 of 18 shooting and Philly's lost to Dallas. And it's a real shame that his abilities as a scorer couldn't be used on a playoff team that was just, fighting for contention, but they could use like some more perimeter scoring. Maybe they've been dealing with a lot of injuries. Maybe they have some gaps on the perimeter. It's just a shame that there's no team out there that exists that fits those categories. The Cavs rested Evan Mobley in a win over the Bulls. And I gotta wonder, do teams get offended when other teams rest their 23-year-old all-star against them? Or in the case of the Bulls, are they just yeah, we get it. Devin Vassell had 37 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals in San Antonio's win over Brooklyn. And if he did stuff more like that, then a certain someone wouldn't have dropped him from their fantasy team. Ivica Zubac scored a career-high 35 points against the Suns, which, given their problems at center, is like if a point guard scored 40 points against, well, also the Suns. LeBron James surpassed 50,000 total career points in a win over the Pelicans. And I think it was good that it was against the Pelicans, because I hope Zion Williamson was watching. Because I think with enough dedication, consistency, and motivation, he too can play for the Lakers. Tyrese Maxey scored 5 points on 2 of 13 shooting in Philly's loss to the Blazers. And there's something ironic about the Sixers giving injury-related rests and shutdowns to every single star player on their team except for the guy with the busted thumb. A buzzer beater by Atlanta's Karis LeVert marked the 3rd straight game the Grizzlies have lost at the buzzer. It's like they're almost having as bad of a stretch as the Mavs. I'm just kidding. Nobody has it as bad as Dallas. Kyrie Irving will miss the remainder of the season after tearing his ACL against Sacramento. This season from hell only ends with the Mavs selling their 2011 championship for a tax write-off, doesn't it? Ty Jerome had 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists in Cleveland's win over Portland. And I gotta wonder, do you think him, Peyton Pritchard, and TJ McConnell all have a group chat? The Cavs overcame an 18-point hole to beat the Blazers in overtime. See, Boston, it's okay. They do it to everyone. OG Anunoby took guarding Tyler Hero on the final possession of regulation as serious as I do when a 10-year-old challenged me to a one-on-one. Kelly Olynyk had 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists in New Orleans' win over the Jazz, which can only mean one thing. We're at my favorite time of the year. Random role players putting up awesome numbers time. It's literally garbage time, but for the season. The Wolves beat the Suns by 18 points behind 44 points from Anthony Edwards, who I imagine looks like this every time he has to go up and beat KD. You'd think Wolves fans would be happier to get a player like Julius Randle back, but if you do think that, you haven't watched much Julius Randle basketball. Luka Doncic is going through a lot of changes in his life. New city, new routine, team, coaches, all that stuff. But if there's one thing that can make him feel a sense of comfort and bring normalcy to his life, it's getting the chance to obliterate the LA Clippers. Dorian Finney-Smith was a plus 24 in a 6-point win over the Clippers. How exactly did the Lakers manage to trade D'Angelo Russell for this guy and not take on D'Angelo Russell to acquire this guy? The Wizards beat the Hornets by 13 points on Saturday night. And if this is how you chose to spend your Saturday night, congratulations. You need more friends. Killian Hayes scored 4 points on 1 of 6 shooting in his return to Detroit. I guess revenge games aren't anyone. Then again, I guess productive basketball isn't either. Cam Johnson shot 3 of 20 in a loss to Detroit, but you gotta give him credit. He went full Dion Waiters in this one. Domantas Sabonis left Sacramento's win over Houston after just 1 minute after suffering a hamstring strain. And I just feel so devastated for the hundreds of fans who bought a ticket to specifically watch him play. Giannis went for 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists in a win over Dallas, but it kind of needs to be taken with a grain of salt, because anyone doing that kind of damage to the Mavs' depleted front court is any role player playing at Madison Square Garden. I love how Jason Tatum went for 46 points, 16 rebounds, and 9 assists against Cleveland, but all anyone is going to remember about him from that game is him calling game in the first quarter like the floppy little bitch he is. In 37 years of Heat basketball, including playoffs, Miami's win over Indiana was only the 5th time where both teams had at least 68 points by intermission. I'm not gonna lie, that's culture. Kobe White hit an incredible 4-point play to send their game against Toronto into overtime, which they would eventually win by 10. See, even the basketball gods want the Bulls in the play-in tournament. Mitchell Robinson made his season debut for the Knicks, which in the eyes of Knicks fans means that their season only starts now. Here's a list of things that make OG Anunoby happier than hitting a game-winning 3 like he did against Memphis. Watching a kid accidentally let go of their balloon, a brisk game of shuffleboard, sleeves. Bol Bol led the way for the Suns with 25 points in a win over the Pelicans. So maybe Shaq had a point? Dante DiVincenzo missed what would have been a game-winning layup in Minnesota's loss to the Jazz. He would have hit that in New York, is all I'm saying. The Lakers only had 2 players scoring double figures in the win over the Clippers, but when those 2 players are LeBron James and Luka Doncic, you're fine. The ref deemed this foul on Kawhi Leonard to be marginal contact, and I can't wait to use this photo in 20 years to show that, no, this era did actually have physical basketball. The Bucks won the minutes Giannis didn't play in the 4th quarter of their game against the Nuggets? Denver wishes. Remember when Anthony Edwards said he needed to control his emotions better? That was before the refs started sucking at their jobs. Mark Williams had 26 points and 16 rebounds in Charlotte's loss to Dallas. And it's okay, buddy. You know, the Lakers might not want you, but some other team will. Giannis and Jokic had an incredible one-on-one duel, going for 28, 19, and 17, and 32, 14, and 10 in a Milwaukee win, respectively. It should have been the talk of the night. Too bad Steph Curry's a stubborn little bitch who thankfully isn't done yet. There's something about February 27th that just gets Steph Curry going. 54 points in 2013, 46 points in 2016, and now 56 points against Orlando in 2025. He's almost as dangerous as February 27th as Gordon Hayward is on January 6th. Steph Curry moved to 12-1 all time at Madison Square Garden with a win over the Knicks. And I'm personally fine with that because as a Knicks fan, we'll always have this.